Back live with you tonight, John in Focus, and thanks for staying on. Reporting continues. Now, the South African Local Government Association has been hosting an annual local government talent management seminar in Johannesburg this week. Among the key elements of discussion was talent management, looking at issues as diverse such as the post-COVID workplace, digitisation and developing digital skills, issues of employee wellness and well-being, policy reforms and leadership, among others. Joining us now to discuss the prospects and opportunities for talent development in municipal government is Rio Nolutshungu, SALGA Municipal Capabilities and Governance Head. Rio, good evening. Good to have you with us tonight here on In Focus. One would say, why is...
Good evening to your viewers as well.
Why is SALGA spending so much money holding a conference, seminar and so on talent, when actually ultimately what is going to happen is these three people that I just spoke to now and their parties will decide which talent is going to be mayor or which talent is going to do what. It's just merely going to be a political exercise. What is this seminar really aimed at?
Well, let's look at this way. A municipality is an institutional arrangement that has three components. It's got councillors, where the different interviewees you were speaking with belong, which are the politically elected functionaries. There's the administration handed by the municipal manager and the citizens. So if we are ever going to get municipalities to operate properly, we need to look at the capacity and the improvement needs of all these components. If we spend every day of our life speaking or attending to political difficulties and tensions, we are never going to resolve the complex problems that confront local government. Yeah. The most effective instrument of resolving these problems are people. And those people happen to be men and women who are employed in these 257 municipalities, 260,000 or so of them, who are waking up every day and doing the work that will translate to service delivery. Without taking away the importance of political leadership, governance, effective oversight and ethical leadership, but the DNA is the employees who are there in the municipality day and night, who seldom leave the institutions because of the outcome of electoral process. Okay. And we have got to attend to their needs of development and their needs of capacity building so that the whole of the municipality as an entity can start changing for the better. And the better is when citizens can start saying, you are starting to respond to our needs. Our needs are those of basic services. Our needs are those of ensuring that there's a developmental set of opportunities that are created by this local organ of state. Yeah. So we can't look at politicians only. If we do that...
So I understand, Roger. So you're saying the focus for you is the officials, the talent on...
The officials in this seminar, they are the focus. They are the focus. We are saying we have gone through COVID. There are many changes that are happening in the world of work, technological, natural disasters, human development, otherwise. Can you take stock of what's happening to you? Right. Can you repurpose your artillery of skills to better place municipalities to serve people? Yeah. Can you start looking at technology innovations and opportunities that are available to yourself, which we've pilot tested and gone through while we COVID? So we are basically showing almost like we're creating an expo of opportunities to change the paradigm of municipal administration. So, we're talking less about politics in this gathering. We're talking about how to attract, harness, retain, and develop the talent that is at our disposal. Almost like, if I use the analogy of manufacturing, how do we make sure we look after our timber?
How do you capacitate those individuals in a context of a changing paradigm of coalition government, particularly at municipality level, where the tar hits the road, so to speak, and that's where delivery needs to happen?
Well, let's look at it this way. Capacity is in itself a multidimensional investment. It's an investment in people, in their individual capacities. It's in the investment in the institutional needs, the municipality itself. It's also an investment in what enabling frameworks, policy and otherwise we need to make sure that municipality work. It's also about resourcing those municipalities properly. But at a softer level, it's about a different kind of repositioning. and that is, how can we take leadership far away from the politics, far away from the day-to-day negative news, and change the narrative of local government as officials and be professional in the way that we do our work, responsive to citizens, behave ethically, adhere to our norms of standards, and be focused on serving people. I think if we do that, we will get into a phase in our discourse where we forget about the politics and we start telling the good stories about municipal delivery.
Well, I'd say Rio is being too simplistic to think that you can insulate officials from political influence. How? I mean, the president says something.
You can't insulate them.
Yeah.
But part of the capacity building imperatives is that you must also be adept and agile at working with politicians that come and go in a fast-changing political context, in a context where governance at the political level may change overnight, in a context where disasters may hit you. You've got to be an official in a municipality that understands those things. It's not enough to come to work and say I'm a bureaucrat. All I'm required to do is to do my job as per my job description and job profile requires. You've got to be adept to the environment about you. So part of the conservation is to create that sense of agility on the part of these officials.
What are some of you said it was an exhibition. What are some of the best practice initiatives that you could have introduced in a post-COVID era at our local municipalities?
I'll summarize them for you. For example, we've learned through COVID that productivity is not necessarily time spent physically at work. You can be productive while you are operating in a virtual environment and give the municipality the benefit of those milestones. So we're no longer managing presence, we're managing more outputs and milestones. Those are some of the innovations and best practices we are bringing. We are also saying, as much as we are stretching municipal employees, they must do everything they have to meet the service delivery needs, but we must also balance their wellness, their home and work life, because these are communities themselves. They might be employees during the day, and of course we are not talking about day in terms of determined hours of work, perhaps from 8 to 5, but these people also have a work-life balance they need. But most significantly, we are saying our best possible chance at forging ahead with meaningful change is not to look for political solutions per se, is to look at how we ourselves can take the baton of professionalism and lead the way in effecting change in municipalities.
Rio Nolutshungu, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on and your intervention tonight. Municipal Capabilities and Governance Head at SALGA there, Rio Nolutshungu.